What if one of the darkest days in human history was actually called good? It sounds strange, doesn't it? A day filled with suffering, betrayal, and death, yet remembered by billions as something sacred. Today, we're stepping back in time to uncover the story behind Good Friday, how it began, what it means, and why it is still observed today. Nearly 2,000 years ago, in the ancient city of Jerusalem, tension filled the air. A man named Jesus Christ had been gaining attention. He spoke about love, forgiveness, and a kingdom not of this world. To many, he was a teacher. To others, a threat. One night, everything changed. Jesus was betrayed by one of his own followers, arrested under the cover of darkness, and taken to trial. But this wasn't a fair trial. It was rushed, political, and already decided. By morning, the crowd had turned. The same voices that once praised him now demanded his execution. And so, he was sentenced to death by crucifixion, one of the most painful punishments of that time. He was beaten, mocked, and forced to carry a wooden cross through the streets. Then outside the city, he was nailed to that cross and left to die. For hours, he hung there in pain. And then, silence. To his followers, it felt like everything was over. Their hope was gone. The man they believed in was gone. That day is what we now call Good Friday. But here's where the story takes a deeper turn. Why call such a tragic day good? Because for Christians, this was not just a death. It was a sacrifice. They believed that through this act, Jesus took on the sins of humanity, offering forgiveness and a path to redemption. What looked like defeat became a symbol of hope. What felt like an ending became the beginning of something far greater. This is exactly why Good Friday is observed, not as a celebration of suffering, but as a remembrance of sacrifice. Christians believe this day marks the moment Jesus gave his life for humanity, making forgiveness and salvation possible. So every year, people pause to reflect on that sacrifice and what it represents. In the years that followed, early Christians began to remember this day quietly. They fasted, they prayed, they gathered in silence. Over time, Good Friday became an important part of the Christian calendar, especially during Holy Week. Different cultures developed their own ways of observing it. Some hold solemn church services. Others reenact the journey to the cross. Many people choose to fast or spend the day in reflection. Even today, the mood remains the same, quiet, serious, and deeply meaningful. So what does Good Friday mean now? For many, it is a reminder of sacrifice, love, and forgiveness. It is a day to slow down, reflect, and think about deeper questions of faith and purpose. And even beyond religion, the story speaks to something universal. It reminds us that even in moments of pain and loss, meaning and hope can still be found. So yes, it may seem strange at first, a day of suffering called good. But when you understand the story behind it, the name begins to make sense. Because sometimes what looks like the end is actually the beginning. If this story helped you understand Good Friday in a new way, share it with someone who might need a fresh perspective. And if you enjoy meaningful stories like this, stay with us. There's always more to discover.